Good morning! Hi cubies and newbies, I am Sunshine, and this is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. Works on every complexity Rubik's Cubes, works on every complexity brain, non-complexity brain. I have never failed to teach anyone who's asked me to inside of about 2 hours. Except for my sister, who's as stubborn as me, and she said, no, I can't get it, it's too hard. So, let's see how we do here. I am Sunshine, this is the ABCube method. Instead of making you memorize a bunch of algorithms and learn a cube language and label each face and each slice, this is for the non-cubers. It is not a speed solve method. It is not a fewest moves method, but for beginners, it will help you take a cube. It will pick up a cube scrambled and put it down solved, which is very good for learning algorithms, because if you can do the algorithm to a solved cube instead of a scrambled cube, you can see more clearly what the algorithm is doing. So that's what this does. Formula A is 4 moves. Formula B is 8 moves. They're commutators. So every left there's a right, for every up there's a down, so it's a mathematical 0, which means that it only ever moves the pieces that you want to move, so you don't have to worry about an order of operation, or memorizing different algorithms and then memorizing what each algorithm does and memorizing which order to use each algorithm, so you don't mess up what went before. This does away with all of that. So there's no order of operation. You can do it in whatever order you want, but because all of the cubes have 8 corners, I do the corners first, so that you can see that every cube is treated the same way. So doing the corners, Formula A brings a color to the top, Formula B moves 3 pieces around, and then you put that face down and do the same thing for the second 4 corners, and then your corners are done. And now for the 2x2, that's all there is. For everything else, those corners being placed dictates for the cube which color each face is going to be. So at that point in time, you can start, instead of pairing things up and forming them as solving them as a reductionist method for the 3x3 later, you can just put each piece where it belongs. As you come to it, they pair themselves up, and you don't have time, you don't spend time looking for a particular piece. You just find a piece that's wrong, toss it in the direction, and repeat. So we do the corners, then the 2x2 is done. Everything else is programmed, and then we do the opposite edges. They're done, and then we put white piece down, and we do the side edges by displacing one yellow until the yellow comes back to the top. So then your edges pieces are done. Corners are done, edge pieces are done. So all that's left, I break the steps down throughout the week and go do a step a day. So what's left then is your center pieces, which are also done with, you guessed it, Formula B. So I'm also this week solving this is a Whit-Eaton 3x3x9, and so far I've solved it. I've got the corners done, the opposite edges, and then for the side edges, it is just the center row for the side edges. And then the rest of these the rest of these edges and centers can also be solved with Formula B, with the minor adaptation that instead of horizontal going one row at a time, which means that I can't access the side columns. The difference is that instead of horizontal across, it's all done in groups of 2. So for B adapted is 2 for the top instead of 1 for the top, and then I can do my sides, or my edges, and then my centers. So I'll get to that, but I'm going to do the centers for the standard cubes first, the n by n by n cubes. So good morning, and who do we have? Thank you for joining me. If you just joined me, if you just discovered me, I am Sunshine, and I created the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. It's for non-cubers and the people who have tried to learn and just couldn't memorize all those algorithms. this is for you. Again, it's not speed solve, and it's not fewest move solve, but like the dancing bear, it works. It doesn't have to do it well. Kitty. Okay, sorry. All right, I'm happy to be interrupted and asked questions because, hey, autism. But so the 4s are done. The 2 is done. The 3 is done, and I'm gonna do these with be adapted. So I'm gonna finish the centers first before I get to this one. Formula A. Like I said, Formula A brings a piece to the top, Formula B moves 3 pieces around. So you can use Formula A for the entirety of your first face, but you can't use it for your second face or beyond that because Formula A does affect all 6 sides when you do it. But I could, alright, I've got 3 yellows are here together. I can keep these yellows together. I'm going to do Formula A to move these yellows to the yellow side. So I'm treating this is my row, these 2 together, and this is my column, these 2 together. So you hold it from the front face so it wants to go to the top, and then you move this piece out, the space down, the cube and the space in, and the cube into the space, and the cube and the space back up again. So let's do that again here. Out, down, in, up. Okay. And somewhere there's another yellow, here it is, okay, is under where it wants to be. So I move this piece away, space down, piece into the space, and the piece in the space back up again. So now we've got one side done, which we can do. Or we can do the entire cube just using Formula B, that works too. So, instead of looking specifically for a particular color, I just find any piece that's wrong. Here's a blue piece on the red side. So I hold the cube. So I hold the cube so that that's on the front, and it's going to move to the top. So I rotate the cube so that the top is where it is going to be, is where this piece wants to land. Okay. So this piece is going to land right here. My first horizontal is to set it up so that there's something advantageous will come down. The green is just fine. So that's my horizontal, and then I follow this piece. Instead of knowing for the outside columns it moves corners around. For an outside inside it moves edges around. For the center pieces, 2 center columns are going to move the center pieces around. So I just follow this piece. Okay, so I move it up, rotate the top so that 1/4 turn so it's in a different column. Can't go this way because that's the same column. So you have to be a little more particular about the diagonals than you do on the obliques. So back up. So I go up, slide to a different column, and then this column is my second column. And because I've done the centers, I've done the edges, that's there to remind me which column which direction I'm going. So then I reverse down, set the top. Okay. Let's do that again. Here's a blue. Line up so something can come down. Up, slide, second up, reverse down, and there it is. Find another piece. Here's a white. Okay, I can bring down, it's going to land here, so I can bring down a yellow, an orange, or a red by rotating the top. But the orange is just fine. So I go up, slide to a different column, second up, reverse down, set the top. And again, here's an orange on top. It's going to land right here. I can bring down the green or the whites. I don't want to bring down the green. So up, slide, second column up, reverse down. Okay, here's a white. I can bring down the red or the orange. The red only has greens and the orange has a white, so it's a white. So I'm going to go this way. So line up the orange, up, slide, up, reverse down, set the top. Here's the orange. Bring the white down because I don't want to bring the opposites in. Up, up, down, down. Okay, here's another one. Line it up, up, slide to a different column, second up, reverse, down, down. Here's a red. Don't want to bring the greens down, so let's work with the greens instead. Okay. It's lined up to bring that red down, up, slide up, and let's say the cat just jumped on my lap and I got confused and I forgot which direction I was going. Because the edges are done, it's a visual clue. So if I try to go in the wrong direction, it doesn't line up, so I know that I went the wrong way. So down, down. Another green. Line it up. No, line it up with the blue. Up, second up, down, second down. Set the top. Again. So it's very simple. There's not a lot of look ahead. There's not a lot of planning. You just find a piece that's incorrect and throw it in the direction it wants to be, and repeat as needed. And we're done. Who's here? Let's update the viewer list. Hi, you guys. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for joining me this week. Oh, look, I've got a pen. I've got a Rubik's Cube pen. In order to take the cap off, you have to line up the edges in order to take the cap off and write with the pen. It had a lanyard attached to here, so you could wear it around your neck. It broke off, but it's still a nice pen. And here's my little 1x1. Ta-da! Okay. All right, so I feel like I should do a quick overview for those of you who just joined us. Formula A brings a piece to the top. Okay, for if it's the center row and the center column, it'll bring the centers, rotate the centers. Okay, it gives you boxes. One row, one column. For this piece to move to the top, you move it out, space down, piece into the space, piece in the space, back up again, and again, out, down, in, up. Okay, so that's how you can do that for any one face. As far as the corners, Formula A, bottom row, right column, we'll switch these two around, so it brings this corner to the top. But as it does so, it also twists the corners. So if you want the corner twisted, Formula A will do that for you. So it switches up, down, in, up, and back in its place, but twisted. So if twisted was what you wanted, all you would do is at this point move it out of the way and continue with another column. But except for the first face, Formula A is always done in groups of 6, and 6 means that the rest of the cube is untouched, so you're only affecting the pieces that you chose to affect when you use Formula A. I'm going to put them back, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, and when it is the way you want it to be, slide it out of the way, continue your 6 set with another corner that you don't mind twisting. And they will solve themselves. The cube is inherently honest. So corners, and then edges, and then centers. Sometimes you'll notice that these algorithms do not address or attack on parodies. That's because a parody is a line. You don't have to play with them unless you want to. A parody is where it looks like you've got 2 pieces and only 2 pieces that need to move. Everything else is where it wants to be. So this piece wants to be over here, and this piece wants to be over here. It can look in a lot of different ways. I force my parodies to come up opposite if they come. If you do other methods, they can be side by side. If you've paired up your edges, then you get a parity. It's because you've paired up your edges. So, but whatever the parity looks like, the cube is honest. There's always 3 pieces to move, and if you only see 2, the third piece that you do not see is literally the piece you do not see. So it is the slice of this layer, the slice that touches the parity is a quarter turn off. Rotate it a quarter turn in either direction, and now instead of having 2 edges off, you have 1 correct and the 3 edges off, and you know how to move 3 edges. So the parity just poof disappears. The reason why you can't get a parity on the on the 3x3 is because we work around the center. I solved this cube without looking at the center, just solving it as if it were a void cube, and I came up with a parity because I had not done the centers. Now the centers, it's not that I hadn't done the centers. The centers are either going to be correct or solvable, or one quarter turn away from solvable. So if I try to use, okay, like if I try to do formula A to bring my green up to the top, okay, out, down, in, up, then I can see that the green is correct, but the side edges are not. So the parity was caused by the side edges being a quarter, by the inner slice being a quarter turn off. And when I correct that quarter turn, and I don't have to correct it, I don't have to actually put it specifically the way it wants to be. It just has to be an even number of turns off from center. So, for example, if I do the boxes over here, if these are 2 turns away from solved, not 1. It's an even number of turns away from solved. If it's an odd number of turns, if it was just like that, then it wouldn't. Then you get a parity. So the parity is always only ever caused by one thing. It's caused by the center slice being a quarter turn off. And I think, in my opinion, working from the outside in instead of from the inside out means that the parity is solved by one single quarter turn instead of having to use the parity algorithm at the end, which is more than 1 turn. So there you have it. So that's what the formulas do. So let's work on the edges again. Top row, 2 columns, and I don't have to memorize which 2 columns do which things. I just pick a piece, throw it in this direction, and the cube tells me what the 2 columns are. So for example, here's a white, it's on the red face, wants to go up to the top. I'm going to line it up so that the most advantageous piece comes down. So I want the red piece to come down. Okay, so I follow the piece that I'm doing, applying the formula B to. So it goes up, slide to a different column, and that becomes my second up, and then reverse down, and that piece is moved. 3 pieces moved. It looks like 2 pieces moved, but two of them were the same color, so it really was 3 pieces that moved. Here is an orange. I can throw it in its direction. It was an opposite, so I'm just going to toss it twice. So line it up to a piece that can advantageously come back down. I go up, slide to a different column, second up, and then reverse down, set the top, and there it is. I'm going to follow it again. Okay, so it's going to land here. I can bring down the orange, or a yellow, or a white. And the yellow the white has the green, so it's more advantageous for me to do the white. Okay, so I'm going to keep these whites together because I can. So up, slide, second up, down, set the top. Okay, here's some greens. Okay. I can bring down 2 whites. So up, slide, up, reverse down, set the top as needed. Okay. Here's a white and a blue. So I'm going to treat these as one and bring down these 2. No, I'm not. I'm going to bring down these 2. So up, down, and then I'm going to follow that around again. up, up, down, down. Okay. And again, just it's lather, rinse, repeat. Just pick a piece that's incorrect, any piece, throw it in the direction it wants to be, up, up, down, down, at the top. Okay. Here's a blue, so it's going to go twice, so let's offset this one. Up, up, down, down to the top. Continue through again. I can bring down, let's see, let's work with the colors that are together first because that's easier. Okay, so here's an orange. Okay. So I want to bring down a blue and anything else that's convenient. So if I do these two, I'll bring this one down. If I do these two, I'll bring that one down. So it really doesn't matter. So these, I'm going to move this as one piece. Go up, slide to a different column, second up, reverse down, and set the top. Okay. Here's some yellows. Okay. I can put these two yellows into these two oranges, or I can offset the white from there. I'm going to do the oranges. So you go up, and you just, that's really all it is. Hello, hi, how you doing? Thank you for saying hi. And really all it is you just find a piece, throw it in the direction it wants to be, and then find another piece. Okay, here's some yellows that are together. Let's see if I can take advantage of those. So, it'll land where the red and blue is, or land where the white is, so it's not advantageous to treat them together, so I'm going to separate them, and that's okay. At the top. And it really is just over and over again until you get where you want to be. Again, Formula A brings a piece to the top, Formula B moves 3 pieces around. If I use this white piece, put this white piece up here, the blue is going to come down. That's not convenient for me, so I'm going to work on the blue instead. And I can bring down either the yellow or the red. So the red is more advantageous because we don't want to deal with opposites unless we have to. Up, up, down, down, and set. Okay, here's a red. I do the corners. I work outside in just because it's easier to see. Okay, here's a red. I don't want to bring that blue down. I mean, let's keep these blues together and see what I can do with them. Just since they were so nice to pair themselves up, let's just see what I can do with them. So I can bring down. I can bring down the yellow and green. Or I can bring down the blue and the red. The blue doesn't really helpful, so I'm going to do these two. So I go treat up like one piece, slide, second one piece, reverse down, set the top. Okay, so here's some green, so let's see what we can do with that. Okay, nothing advantageous, so the green doesn't have to divide the green, it's fine. Up, up, down, down, and set the top. Here's a yellow. Okay, I can bring down the yellow, the blue, or the red. So I line up the red. And again, you just follow the piece, follow the B piece, follow the piece that you're using. Up, slide to a different column, second up, reverse down, And like I said, the corners have dictated where each piece is going, what the color of each face. So every edge piece, every piece now has a correct place to put, rather than solving it the reduction method, making it look like a 3x3 and then placing them like a 3x3. If you do the corners first, then you are dictating at the correct place for each piece, and you, instead of taking time to pair them up, you can just place each piece individually where it wants to be. They'll pair themselves up. Okay, so up, slide to a different column, second up, reverse down. Okay. Yeah, alrighty. Here's a yellow. Okay, I can bring down a yellow, 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 or blue. How about if I bring down the blue? Up, slide, second up, reverse, down, reverse, down. Okay. Here's a red. That wants to bring down the green. Let's not do that one. Here's an orange. Okay, and we can bring down the orange or the green or the blue. So we line it up. That's the first horizontal. Then I go up, slide to a different column. That becomes my second up. And then down and down. Set the top and keep going. Here's a green, but that will bring down a yellow. That's just fine. Up, slide up, reverse down, reverse down. Set the top. If you don't set the top, it will turn itself into a scrambled 3x3, and that is okay because we know what to do with that. Okay, so here we go. Yellow can bring down a blue or a white. Let's bring down the white because it doesn't want to be there. So up, up, down, down. Alrighty, here's a white. Reach the top, up, slide, slide down, and we just move 3 cubes around. Okay, another one. Red is on my front face. Put it red to the top. I don't want to move. If I move that red, the green's going to come down. So let's play with the green one instead. Go up. Sometimes you'll have to deal with opposites, and that's okay. This means that you apply it twice. Okay. Here's a yellow, 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 yellow. Line it up, slide up, down, down. Okay. One more. Up, down, down. Okay. And so, all of these cubes can all be solved with just formula A and just formula B. A brings a piece to the top, B moves 3 pieces around. The difference is that this is a Whittington 3x3x9. It's not an n by n by n cube. And this also can be solved with the formula A. I used formula A and B to do the first corner, second corners, opposite edges, and the side edge here, okay, which is the same as I do on any n by n by n cube. And the difference being is that when I start working on the banded side, there's a minor adaptation. For all of my horizontals, instead of going one piece one way back and forth like this, I can't affect my corner, my 9 side that way. So the alteration that I made is for every horizontal, instead of going one, it's going twice, which means I can access each individual column. And with that, I can solve with just formula B now. I can solve the rest of this cube. So I'm gonna play with that today because I can. Okay, this edge piece is red and green, and so I want to find as many red and greens that are incorrectly placed on this side to move over to this side. Because what formula B does, let me show you what formula B does when you adapt the horizontal. Because I can, yes. Okay, so when I got my 3x9, I spent a month trying to figure it out. And I literally went to a different tutorial every day and trying to figure out how to do it. And the closest I can get was here's an algorithm, and it's a big old long algorithm, and it says, now what this is going to do is it's going to move these pieces and these pieces and these pieces. So arrange your cube so that that's going to be advantageous, and then do the algorithm, and then rearrange it back to your state of solve, and then see what to do next. And I'm like, I am not smart enough for this cube. And so after literally a month of the different tutorial every day, I finally said, well, I went to a large cube that I had and said, well, what do I do? Let me just pretend that I can't move my whites and yellows, and what can I do? What will my algorithm do, if it will? And so I adapted that to 2 rows and instead of 1. And then there's an up, there's another up, there's a down, there's another down. And I said, what did it do? Well, it did something to my centers, and that's okay. It did something to my edges, and what it did was that it switched these two, and it switched these two, and did something. So if I do it again, up, up, down, down. The edges are all back the way they were, and the centers have been moved, but I can move the edges. Since a lot happens on the right, but only one thing happens on the left, I can just use the edges, place one edge at a time to the left until we get to until the left is happy. And for the centers, as long as I do formula B adapted twice, the edges are not affected, so I can work with the centers that way. So then, now that I saw what had happened, then I picked it up and mastered it overnight. Took me a month to master it overnight. Okay, so I just pick a slide an edge piece at a time. So just as when I'm working on the opposite edges, the centers can be freely rotated until you get to where something is wants to be held. So we've got so I'm looking for any oranges and blues here. So here's one, but this one's correct. I'm looking for an incorrect one. There's another one, and there's another one. I found all 3 of them. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes you only find 1 or 2, or none. And if you know none, you just move to the next slice. So all 3 of these want to go right here. They want to flip over here. So as I said, a bunch of things happen on the right, but the only thing that happens on the left is these 2 pieces flip. So I'm going to separate, this one's still here, so I'm going to separate them. I'm going to put the space front down and the piece top back. And then I'm going to do formula B adapted, and these are going to place here. So slide up, slide down, reset my corner, and these are correct now. Okay, so and then I'm going to correctly place to the left, and then when the left is solved, either the right will automatically be solved as well, or I'll have a parity, but I know how to deal with the parity. That's not a problem. So now let's work on the greens and oranges. There's 1, 2, 3. There's that one. All right. So 2 of them are incorrect. This one's correct, but I want to move this piece out, so I'm going to place this correct piece with the other pieces, so that these all can come out to the line to where I can work on them freely. So again, I separate them, okay, and do formula B adapted. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. And again, these are correct. This one is incorrect, but what was here is now out here where I can work on it. So now I'm going to look for reds and greens and find the opposite ones if I can. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. Separate them and formula B. Up. Second up. Down. Second down. And I'm just ignoring the centers because it doesn't matter. I'm only working on the edges right now. And those are correct. Let's look at the next layer. Okay, we're looking for red and blues. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Well, this is it. Okay. And so as many as want to place there, we're going to work at a time. Separate them. Slide up. Slide. Second up. Down. Down. Okay. And so this was correct. This is correct. This one has 1 is missing. So we're looking at this layer. I'm going to try to find a green and orange on this layer. 1, 2, there it is. Okay. So I'm only going to be working with this column now. So I separate them. Okay, these 2 are going to switch. Slide up, down, down. Okay. And now that the left side is correct, the right side is either correct or has a parity. So orange does not, on this layer, orange does not equal red, but the green side is correct for this one. For this one, the blue side is correct. Okay, and for this one, the red side is correct. So I'm going to line up the correct sides on all of them, and the opposite the correct sides, these ones each have a parity. Okay, I can do, so a parity is where the slice is a quarter turn off. So I'm going to just, since I've been rotating this freely, it's hard to tell. It's hard to do my single quarter turn on this side. So I'm going to do the single quarter turn on this side over here, because that way, so it's easier to see. Now I'm going to do Formula B, which is going to move this out here, and then I'm going to place it correctly, and then I'm going to place it correctly, and when I do, the parity will have disappeared. So I slide up, slide up, slide down, and now I look on the right side, and this piece, these three pieces together, are incorrect. They want to go over here. So I separate them, slide up, slide up, slide down, okay, and now this piece wants to go here, so I separate them, up, up, down, down. And so it was one Formula B to displace the first one, and then 4 Formula Bs to place each one correctly. So it's an odd number, so an odd number means that my parity will have undone itself. So this one's going to go here, separate them, up, up, down, down, okay, and then these want to go here, separate them, up, up, down, down, okay, and so now that my left is correct again, I check these ones, and they are correct on all sides, so my edges are done. Because once you know what causes a parity and that you can solve it by a single quarter turn, nothing becomes difficult. Now I know that I can solve my centers just by doing Formula B twice, and then so that will flip my edge pieces and then flip them back again, and it's as if I've done nothing. So so you can work from either side, it doesn't matter, but you start with them lined up. These ones want to go here, and then you go move it to the other side. That's your first up, second up, down, down, and again, up, up, down, down, okay, and set the top. Okay, these ones want to go here, and you just pick what's convenient. Okay, these blues need to jump twice. This green wants to come down, this red wants to jump twice, so I'm going, so again, line it up, slide the top, and that's your first up, second up, first down, second down, keep going, first up, second up, first down, second down, and assess. Okay. All right. So if I bring the blues up here, that's going to bring a red down. That's not convenient. But I'm going to I'll use my these reds here, to bring things down. Let's start with this. Let's start with this one. Okay, because it wants to go there. So slide first up. Second up. I love the icon you put there beside the because I can. It's like, up, up, down, down. Okay. Now this one, well, this one's lined up for this one. If I do both of them together, I'm going to bring down a green, which I don't want to do. So I'll do this one first. Slide first up, second up, first down, second down, again, up, up, down, down. Okay, and then this one wants to switch with this one, so it's lined up. First up, second up, first down, second down, again first up, second up, first down, second down, and we're done. Okay, so these red and greens are going to flip, and the blue and oranges are going to flip, and everything's happy. Up, up, down, down, oops, up, up, down, down. Okay, and then these are already lined up. I can do one at a time, or I can do both at a time. So I'm going to do both because you guys can handle that. So we go up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, and ta-da! We did it, you guys. Okay, so again, formula A and B works on every complexity cube. It doesn't work on it works on mirror cubes, but some shapeshifters are scary to me. I haven't mastered all the shapeshifters yet, like square one. I haven't done that yet. So I have not tried it on the pyramids yet because I don't have the pyramid, but it also works on every complexity minx. Formula A, again, brings a piece to the top and twists the corners. Formula B rotates 3 corners around. The difference between a minx and a cube as far as the ABCube method is concerned is that there's no real order of operations for the cubes. You can do it in whatever order you want. Does it work on puppet cubes? Puppet cubes. Okay, educate me. What is a puppet cube? I mean, the answer right now is I don't know. Since I don't know what a puppet cube is, the answer is I don't know. It doesn't work on clocks. Works on mirror cubes, works on anything that is a 3x3, that is a n by n by n adapted, it'll work on those. But it does work on, like I said, it works on the minxes as well. I won't take time right now to go look for a puppet cube. But if someone you want to send me a puppet cube, I'll try. Otherwise, I'll put it on my list of things to, whoopsie, I clicked around somewhere to do something. I don't know what I did. All right. I will look at puppet cubes, and I will figure out if it works or not. All right, you guys, thanks for coming to play with me today, and I appreciate y'all, and it's nice to see familiar usernames there. So if you have any non-cuber friends who you've tried to teach and they're like, nope, it's too hard, I can't get it, bring them to me if they want to come, and we'll have fun. In the meantime, I'm in the process of mastering being able to Zoom capture my video game capture my Zoom call, so I can teach it. So I can teach in real time up to 3 people. I will up to 3 people, and so however, I did it with my kid and it worked and everything was awesome. But then when I went the next time I tried to Twitch, the computer had taken my microphone and used it for Zoom instead of for Twitch, and so the Twitch went to the general microphone, and it was horrible for a day. So I'm going to have to play with that with my kid and figure out how to make sure I'm doing it, because I had tried to do a game capture for the Zoom, and I couldn't get that to work right, so I did a screen capture for Zoom instead, and that worked, but like I said, took my microphone away. So I'm going to try again to make the the video game capture work, and I'll try to get that worked out before tomorrow, because that would be fun to be able to see your guys' cubes at the same time. I love fun. Okay, I will. What was the I will for? As far as regarding other types of cubes, I do have the impossible cube, which is the cube. It's a 3x3, but it's lenticular. So each sticker is 2 separate colors, which I will bring them in your... Okay, awesome. Nice. Okay, so I will be back. Today's Friday, right? I'll be back this evening, and then I will try to set up, make sure that Saturday is going to work. In the meantime, you guys go be nice to yourself. Go drink water, walk in the sun, go have fun. You deserve it. So I'll be back here this evening. Anyone want to say bye to me before I leave? All right, you guys. Have a great day.